friends. I'm excited to be with you this week to share an edition of TechSoup. In our Foundations of School Librarianship class, one of the assignments that the students complete is to prepare a role presentation in which they explain to their faculty or their PTA or their school board, their chosen audience, the three instructional roles of the school librarian. So they're talking about being teachers and information specialists and instructional partners. And when we meet in a face-to-face format, students give this presentation, and I have the other students in the class give peer feedback. In the past, I have had half sheets of paper with the prompts, and when the presenter sits back down at their chair, their colleagues pass those half pieces of paper across the room back to them. I wanted to continue that peer feedback function even in the virtual environment. So this is what I figured out to do, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. It's a combination of using Google Forms and Canvas. I'm going to share my screen with you here to share my Google Drive. So on Google, I create a copy of the form, the feedback form, and I can open it here so you can see the prompts. Students are expected to write down the presentation title of their colleague who is presenting and click on the chosen audience, and then to share things I liked about your presentation and areas in which you might grow. So we try to make it all constructive and all very positive. I create that form and then I copy it for however many times I have students in the class. So I have 15 students in my Prince William cohort this spring for SLIB 500. So I have 15 forms plus my master, and I go in and I rename each of these forms with the student's name. So each student has their own individual Google form. Next, I go to Canvas, and within my module for that class session, I create a page and I call it, in this case, Role Presentation Feedback Links. And then on that page, I type my list of student names. Usually I do them alphabetical order by their first name because it's easy then to be found, to be located in the midst of the presentations. So I provide the students' names and I link each one to that Google form. So if I were to click on Amanda's name here, I actually get to the Google form that is set up for her. So throughout the presentations, I have one student presenting and everybody else in the class is remaining engaged because they are completing this Google form. And then at the end of that student's presentation, they just click on submit at the bottom and it's done. And then they go back to that Google Doc and that Canvas page and find their next presenter and click on their form. Once class is over, I can go back to Google and I can pull up that student's form, and I see that there are 12 responses for Amanda's presentation. And so I can then click on those responses and I can go and I can download those responses, save them as an Excel spreadsheet, and then I attach that Excel spreadsheet to a Canvas message back to the student who presented. It's worked really well. It's kept all the students engaged, and they've been very positive and constructive in the feedback that they've given to their colleagues. So I'm happy to share with you today my virtual transition to peer feedback when we're in a virtual setting. Hope it's helpful to you too.